Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I have some sad news. As you can see, we have looped the MX-5. I've been practicing and trying to learn how to wheelie, and I didn't think it could happen to me, but there you have it. Back of my seat is completely damaged. I've chipped the rear fender, and I've also added some scrapes to my grips. Luckily the throttle side is okay, but yeah, we're just gonna have to live with this. Today what I wanted to talk about is wheeling and whether it's really worth it for you to learn how to wheelie. Ever since I got into this scene, I feel like it's something that I've always wanted to do. It's something that I just thought was a cool skill to have and would be fun to do on the streets or whenever I felt like it. Of course, I knew the dangers. I watched a ton of videos. I'm still currently trying to learn the pop. We got very close the day that I ended up damaging this bike and looping it, but we still have a ton of things to learn. I can barely power wheelie and not well at all, and have incurred all this damage. So I just wanted to talk to my audience about whether learning to wheelie is really worth it. I just wanted to show you guys the damage that you can end up doing to your bike. You know, I can't even look at my bike the same anymore. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. I already have a new gut seat cover coming in. So I'm actually going to try to get more padding in the seat as well before I put on the new cover. So that's going to be great. It's also stylized. I got it in black and brown to somewhat match the magnesium Warp 9 headlight that I have. But yeah, it still sucks to see. I'm also getting a new fender. I had to order it from Walmart because Unicycle's out of rear fenders. Ended up paying like 20 bucks when I could have paid $10 to Luna, but whatever, it's okay. These are the damages that you're gonna have to pay for if you decide to learn how to wheelie. Yeah, I guess what we can start off with is just how this happened. So a few days ago in a parking lot not too far from here, just up the road, I was practicing the pop and I felt like I was getting it really good. One important thing to note as well, I was in hyper mode. So initially when I was learning how to wheelie, this bike has 3 modes: eco, sport, and hyper. And I was telling myself, you know, I can get the pop in sport mode. I don't need to learn how to wheelie in hyper mode, especially because I was a little bit afraid of the power that hyper mode gives you on this bike. But over time, I realized getting the pop was 10 times easier with more power, so why not? I also got way more comfortable with hyper mode, which led me to just, you know, take a chance and decide to experiment and try getting the pop in hyper mode. And it was 10 times easier. Now, for the pop, something I'm still trying to train myself to do is not lean forward when I have the wheel in the air, and instead just use my rear brake to bring the bike down. That's like the most important skill of learning how to wheelie. I've watched a ton of videos on wheeling. I even watched Saronster's video, and building that mind-muscle connection of pulling the rear brake when you want the front wheel to go back down is crucial. This is ultimately what led to me damaging this bike and looping it. So for me, I was getting comfortable with the pop, and eventually I decided to start giving it a little bit more power to see if I could keep the wheel up, something like a power wheelie. But another thing I need to get used to on this bike is the throttle curve is very gradual. If you crank the throttle halfway, the bike will ease into that power. It's not going to deliver it all at once, as opposed to completely cranking the throttle and getting all that power. There's also like a slight delay. It's not a bad thing. It's just something I need to learn and get used to. Even if I fully crank the throttle, I'm not going to get all of that power at once. It's going to kind of come in gradually and then spike. And unfortunately, when I had the wheel in the air, I had the wheel very high on one of these pops. I ended up giving too much power while the wheel was already in the air, and ended up doing like a 12 o'clock wheelie, and it just felt so strange to me having the wheel so high, my body, my whole body almost falling off of the bike. I had to eventually just fall off of it and watch the bike kind of ride off into the distance, and then loop and fall on its rear, which is what ended up doing all this damage. The bike did a complete 180 backwards and damaged, destroyed the fender. This fender bracket is also bent, which I'll have to fix in the future, but that's no problem. Yeah, it's just part of the growing and learning pains, I feel. I didn't end up injuring myself too badly. I fell on my ass and my hand. You can actually see the hole in my glove where I actually landed and put my hand back to brace the fall. And then my ass was also sore for a little bit. And I also got a scrape on my elbow, which will heal. It's already mostly healed. Yeah, I just wanted to stress to, you know, viewers out there and anybody who's thinking about learning how to wheelie, like, you really have to consider if it's something that's worth it for you. You spend a lot of money on a bike like this, and learning how to wheelie is something you should do on more of a beater bike. I know people who ride motorcycles. A lot of them learn how to stunt on a small, cheap bike like a Grom as opposed to an R7 or R9 or 600cc bike. Because if you're learning how to wheelie on a bike that expensive and that powerful, you're going to end up hurting yourself, destroying your bike, and it's just not going to be worth it in the end. You know, like how much money needs to be lost just to learn this new skill? So that's just something I want to put out there. I've also been aware of these new controllers that are being sold in China. I don't know if they're available over here stateside yet, but there are some new controllers that will actually wheelie for you. It's actually really insane how well they work. But I'll link a few videos to those in the description so you guys can go check those out. Pretty much it determines your lean angle on the bike once you've applied the throttle and have the wheel in the air, and it maintains that power output. You have to buy a whole new controller, and it's pretty much able to maintain that power output to keep you at that specified angle. You can actually change the angle of that your bike is wheeling at in the settings with these new controllers, and that is supposed to allow you to just wheelie by cranking the throttle, which is pretty impressive. I mean, the technology on these things has become insane. I don't think that's ever something you're going to see on a internal combustion engine bike or a regular gas bike, but with e-bikes you have that possibility. The components are very simple, easy to program, and very controllable. It's an electric motor, a battery, and a controller. Those are essentially the core components of an e-bike. So anyway, just putting that out there. Anybody who's thinking about learning how to wheelie but on the fence, I would advise personally, I don't want to kill or crap on anybody's parade, but if you want to avoid paying any substantial amount of money or ruining your bike, I would say avoid it unless you have a much cheaper, maybe pit bike or mini electric bike that you're willing to learn on, because yeah, you could end up like me and, you know, end up a little sore with a busted bike. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about for today, guys. I want to appreciate everybody for watching. Stay tuned. We have some more content coming. I'm going to be talking about the Vetra Blazer in upcoming videos. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.